Hello guys, so in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about encoding and decoding now. So encoding and decoding is basically a standard to send data across the network. HTTP does not allow all the characters to be transmitted safely, so it may be necessary to encode data using different algorithms, which we will be talking about. So one of the very prominent one is basically which we are going to be laying emphasis on is base64, so which uses only letters, numbers, and two safe characters. So the whole idea of encoding and decoding data and URLs on internet is based around the fact that not all the characters are considered by the society, HTTP society, to be safe to be sent over the network. So they uses only some standard set of characters and numbers and letters to be sent over the network. So that is what the encoding basically does. For example, if say opening parenthesis, let's say, is not allowed to be sent across the network, what encoding basically does, if you pass it that opening parenthesis to the algorithm, it will output something which is permitted. It will probably give you some a combination of A, B, C, D, and the numbers or letters, something which will represent that particular opening parenthesis, and that can be transmitted over to the receiver, and at the receiver end the same can be decoded back to its original state. So uh, that is what it is, and base64 uses only letters, numbers, and two safe characters, as you've talked about. So the whole purpose of encoding is to transform the data so it can be properly and safely consumed by different types of system. uh, in our this tutorial here, we are going to be looking at one of these APIs. So two prominent APIs are base64 APIs. One is provided by Java itself, and the other one is provided by Apache Codec API. So, but we are going to be basically focusing on the Apache one. It's really easy to use. So let's go to our code and let's see how it works. So I'm going to close everything here and create a test class for encoding. Okay, so let's say we have and a string saying the input. Let's say input is my name here. So we'll be using this Apache Codec API, which if you don't have the jar, if you are just directly watching this video, you can get the jars online and import it in your project, in your build path. So if you type base64 here, you will see there are two of these base64 available. The first one is from the Apache Codec library, the second is from java.utils. So we are going to be using this one here. So we'll be using the function called encode base64, the first one. So as you can see, the parameters is it takes a byte array. So this byte array is nothing but nothing but the like the input data only. So we'll do input dot get bytes, and don't forget to mention this. Okay, so in case this algorithm is not you have entered some wrong algorithm, you need to throw a declaration for that. So there it is, and this is going to be returning a byte array, as you see here. So let's do that. There we go. So now if we try to print this out by saying new string, actually we can just print out like this only. I'm not think this should be okay. Let's do it first. There it is. This is in like byte format. So now we need to print this in the string format. Let's do this, and again don't forget to mention the encoding type. Yeah, let's run this, and this is our encoded value. So if you are passing this value, base64 will encode it to this value. Now about the decodation. So decode is pretty much same here. We'll just put this in a variable here so that it can consume it again. Output string. Sounds good. Okay, So now for the decoding part is also pretty easier. We do base64 dot decode and the same methods there again. So we have this output string. We will do output string dot oops output string dot get bytes. Again, don't forget to mention the encoding here. It doesn't make a lot of difference right here, but sure it does in uh, bigger projects. So again, this is returning us a byte array. This, let's do it. Decode it output, and let's run this first. Then we will change it to string format. So this is the one. This is the thing which you are getting in the byte format. So now we will print it in a string format. So there you go, this was our input, and after encoding it to this one, then we are decoding it back to other. So that is what we are getting. So this is all the complete logic behind the encoding and decoding. You send the data in this format, and on the receiving end, this particular string will be decoded back to this format. So in the next tutorial, we are going to be looking about in about encryption and how